Hi everyone. In this video, let us discuss about one of the important features that we have in the Citrix Cloud environment, which is identity and access management, okay, or IAM. So, in order to access IAM or identity and access management, click on these three horizontal lines and click on identity and access management. So once you click on it, you see authentication, administrators, API access, domains, recovery. So what exactly is identity and access management? So, so in identity and access management, you get an option to find out or see who are all the people who can have access to your Citrix cloud environment. Okay, you can give the permissions to the right people. So let's say you have administrators here. Okay, click on administrators. You see here there is a person called Naresh who has full access to Citrix Cloud. Let's say there is a new team member who joined in your organization and you want to give access to that particular person. So what you can do is you can click the drop down box, click on Citrix identity, and you can mention the email address of that person. If you mention the email address of that person and click invite, you're going to invite that person to become part of the administrators group. Okay, so this is administrators. So identity and access management will really you know help us to give the proper permissions to the right people, okay. So let me click on authentication. So once you click on authentication, you see Citrix identity, Azure Active Directory plus token, Citrix Gateway, Okta, SAML or SAML. Okay, so basically, if you want to integrate Citrix Cloud with Azure Active Directory or your on-premise Active Directory or Citrix Gateway or Okta authentication, you can do that from here. So let's say you have a domain controller in your on-premise environment and you want to integrate it. In that case, what you can do is you can just click on these three little dots and you see connect here. So once you click on connect, what happens is it is going to ask you to install the connector software. So once you install the connector software, you can follow the process to finish the installation and you can integrate your on-premise Active Directory environment with the Citrix Cloud. Okay, let me go back, and you can follow the same process for other services as well. If you want to integrate with Okta or Citrix Gateway, so you need to follow the right steps. Once you follow the steps, you can integrate it with your Citrix Cloud environment. So let me go to PowerPoint presentation quickly. Okay, identity and access management. Identity and access management defines the identity providers and accounts used for Citrix Cloud administrators and workspace subscribers. So, as we have just discussed, identity and access management will help to provide, help to provide to give access to Citrix Cloud console for the right people to give the right access. So let's say there are some users or subscribers, you call it, and you want them to be part of some application or something. They are workspace subscribers. So all these things can be done with the help of identity and access management. So let's say there is a user who wants to access some application or desktop. So we call this user as subscriber. Let's say A21314 is the name of the account. So you can use that account to assign that account to a particular application or desktop. Okay, these are workspace subscribers. So Citrix Cloud uses the Citrix identity provider to manage your Citrix Cloud account. Citrix identity provider authenticates Citrix Cloud administrators only. By default, only Citrix Cloud administrators can authenticate to Citrix Cloud account. Okay. Okay. So, like we have just discussed, if you want to integrate with Citrix Cloud account, you can add the following identity providers to your Citrix Cloud account. Okay, on-premise Active Directory. If you have on-premise domain controller, you can integrate with Citrix Cloud account so that the workspace subscribers can access the resources or the applications. Okay, this is Active Directory plus token for authenticating workspace subscribers only workspace subscribers can only use this particular feature, Active Directory plus token. And you have Citrix Gateway for authenticating workspace subscribers only. Okay, you can integrate with Citrix Gateway. This is for only authenticating workspace subscribers only. These are all the users basically who wants to connect to the Citrix environment to access Citrix applications or desktops. And this is Okta authentication, and this is SAML. So based upon your requirement, let's say your environment just need your Citrix Cloud account to be integrated with Azure Active Directory or your on-premise Active Directory, you can just use on-premise Active Directory. If you have a requirement to integrate with Azure Active Directory, you need to integrate with Azure Active Directory. So at the end of the day, it depends upon your requirement. But these are all the options that are available. So let's go to the next slide. Okay, administrators. Administrators use their identity to access Citrix Cloud, perform management activities, and install the Citrix Cloud connector. So if you are the administrator, you have every right to access Citrix Cloud. You can perform management activities, and also you can install the Citrix Cloud connector. At any point in time, if you want to add new administrators during the account onboarding process, an initial administrator is created. As the initial administrator, you can then invite other administrators to join Citrix Cloud. Like I have just explained, you know, you can invite the other administrators to be part of the administrators group. These new administrators can use their existing Citrix account credentials or set up a new account if needed. So these new administrators, if they already have an account, they can use it, or they can set up a new account. So at any point in time, if you want to remove some administrator, maybe the administrator had left the company, or the administrator had moved to a different project or something like that, in that case, you can also remove administrators, because if you don't want the unauthorized people to still access your Citrix Cloud environment. So you can monitor it closely, and you can remove the administrators who need not, who shouldn't have access to the Citrix Cloud environment. Okay, let me go to the next slide. Subscribers. So a subscriber's identity defines the services to which they have access in Citrix Cloud. This identity comes from Active Directory domain accounts provided from the domains with the resource location. Assigning a subscriber to a library offering authorizes the subscriber to access that offering. So all these subscribers come from your resource location domain controllers. Okay, so once these subscribers are given access to applications or desktops, they will get that offering. Basically, they can access those offering or applications or desktops. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so we have already discussed about this in the last few minutes. So if you want to connect to your domain controller or Active Directory, you need to just click on connect. So once you click on connect, it is going to show the screen. So you need to click on install connector, and you can install the software. So once you install the software, okay, so launch the Cloud Connector installer and follow the installation wizard. So once the installation is completed, from the connect to Active Directory page, click detect. So you get an option called detect. So once you click on detect, a verification happens, and once the verification is completed, Citrix Cloud displays a message that your Active Directory is connected. Now you see an option called connected. Once the process is completed, you see an option called connected. Click return to authentication. The Active Directory entry is marked enabled on the authentication tab. So you will see these details once the process is completed. The most important thing is you see an option called connected. Once the integration is done, you see an option called connected. So this is the one of the important features that we have in Citrix Cloud, which is IAM, or independent or identity and access management. All right, I really hope you find this information helpful. Thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.